Jai Hind everyone. My name is Dr. Divya Bharti. Today we are going to discuss subject network analysis and synthesis with subject code KEC 303. So today we will see the introduction about this subject. We will see the course outcomes and the program outcomes of this subject. Then we will see the syllabus that is included in this subject. So also we will see some basic terminology, basic definitions, and that will be very useful for this subject. So the terminology that we will use in this subject, like what is node, what is mesh, okay, so that we will see. So basically, as we know from the knowledge of basic electrical engineering, that network may be DC, network may be AC. DC and AC means if source is of DC type, so that will be DC network, and source is alternating, that means if source is changing with respect to time, then that is the AC source. So we will see terminology that is related to both DC and AC. Okay, some terminology comes into picture when we deal with the AC network. Okay, and some terminology are there that are common for DC and AC both. So we will see all the basic definitions, basic terminology. We will be familiar with that basic terminology. Okay, we will see some of the examples also. With the help of network, we will define some of the terminology and then we will proceed into the subject. So these are the course outcomes of this subject, that after studying this subject, we will be able to understand the basic electrical circuits, okay, with nodal and mesh analysis. Okay, so basic electrical circuits can be analyzed with the help of the nodal and mesh analysis. Okay, so we can understand that. After that, second outcome is that electrical network theorems can be dealt. Okay, so we will be able to apply the electrical network theorems for the network analysis. Okay, there are various network theorems, like some of those theorems are there in the syllabus of basic electrical engineering also. Okay, that will be repeated here, and apart from those theorems, we will see some new network theorems also, like Thevenin theorem, superposition theorem, Norton theorem, and maximum power transfer theorem. These four theorems we had studied in our basic electrical engineering course also. Okay, apart from these four theorems, we will discuss diligence theorem, reciprocity theorem, compensation theorem in this subject. Okay, also we will apply these theorems in AC network. Okay, so in basic electrical engineering, we have applied network theorems in DC network. Okay, so those theorems are applicable in AC network also. Okay, so we will see that. Then third outcome is that we will be able to apply Laplace transform for steady state and transient analysis. Okay, so by applying the Laplace transform, how we will calculate the total response of the system. Okay, response means output. Okay, with the help of the Laplace transform, steady state and the transient response can be analyzed easily. Okay, so that we will see in this subject. Then fourth outcome is that different types of network functions can be determined. Okay, after studying this subject, we will be able to determine the different network functions. Okay, then fifth outcome is that frequency domain technique can be understood. Okay, frequency domain techniques will be studied in the subject, like Laplace analysis, Laplace technique is there, as well as the Fourier transform is there. Okay, so those are the frequency domain techniques for analyzing the network. Okay, so that can be studied here, that will be studied here. So these are the topics that are covered in this subject. So in unit 1, we will see node analysis and mesh analysis. Okay, so then matrix approach for solving the network. Okay, matrix approach for calculating the response. Okay, of the network that will contain the voltage source, current source, and the reactances. Okay, reactances means we will see the analysis of AC network. Okay, then source transformation and duality. Okay, we will see the concept of the duality also in the unit 1. Then network theorems, as we discussed, superposition, reciprocity, Thevenin's, Norton, maximum power transfer, compensation and Tilligens's theorem, and that will be applied to the AC circuits. Then in third unit, we will see the trigonometrical and exponential Fourier series, discrete spectra and symmetry of waveforms, steady state response of a network to non-sinusoidal periodic input. Okay, power factor, effective value, how this power factor and effective values are calculated with the help of the Fourier series. Then Fourier transform and continuous spectra, three-phase unbalanced circuit and power calculation. Okay, in fourth unit, we will study Laplace transform and their properties, partial fractions, singularity functions, waveform synthesis, then analysis of RC, RL and RLC network with and without initial conditions with the Laplace transform evaluation. Also, we will see how we will evaluate the initial conditions, okay, with the help of the Laplace transform. In last unit, we will study the transient behavior, concept of complex frequency, driving point and transfer functions, pole and zeros of impedance function, their properties, sinusoidal response from pole zero location. Okay, with the help of the location of pole zero, we can derive the sinusoidal response. Then convolution theorem and two-port network. Okay, 4-port network and interconnection. Okay, two-port network and their interconnection, behavior of series and parallel resonant circuit. Okay, introduction about the filters. Okay, also we will see introduction to the 4 types of filter, that is band pass, low pass, high pass and band reject filter. So these are the contents that we will discuss in this subject. So first we will find out the difference, what is network analysis and what is network synthesis. So basically network analysis is the process of finding the voltage and the current. Okay, we will find the voltage across any network element, or we will find the current through any network element. Okay, we will find the voltage across any network element, or we will calculate the current through the network element. Okay, so that is known as the network analysis part. Okay, there are many efficient techniques for network analysis. Okay, so we can calculate the response. Okay, so network analysis is basically the process of finding the voltage across and the current through all the network component. Okay, so different type of network theorems that we will study in our unit 2 of this subject, then that those network theorems are helpful in the network analysis. Okay, so then network synthesis. Okay, so network synthesis starts from the prescribed impedance function. Okay, and then determines the possible network that will produce the required response. Okay, so network synthesis will start from the given function. Okay, function will be given, prescribed impedance function will be given, and then we will determine the possible network elements. Okay, that will produce the required response. Okay, so application of network synthesis is in the design of signal processing filters and impedance matching networks. Okay, so impedance matching networks and the filter designing. Signal processing filters are designed with the help of the network synthesis. Okay, so in network synthesis, what we will be having? We will be having the prescribed impedance function. Okay, and then we will determine the network elements, value of the network elements that can produce the same network function. So here we will start with some important definition. So an electrical network is an interconnection of electrical. What is electrical network? That we will see. So an electrical network is an interconnection of electrical components, that is batteries, resistors, inductors, capacitors, switches, transistors. Okay, these are the network electrical component. So electrical network is the component, the interconnection of electrical components, or a model of such an interconnection consisting of electrical elements. Okay, electrical elements that may be voltage source, current source, resistance, inductance and capacitance. Okay, so electrical network is basically the interconnection of electrical components. Okay, that may be battery, resistor, inductor, capacitor, switches, transistor. Okay, voltage source, current source, etc. So an electrical circuit is a network consisting of closed loop giving a return path for the current. Okay, so basically electrical circuit is a network consisting of closed path for giving the return path to the current. So what are the components? So a component is a device that with two or more terminals. Okay, so a component is basically a device which will be having two or more terminals into which or out of which current may flow. Okay, so current electrical network component is a device that may be two or more than two terminal. Okay, so through that terminal current will be flowing. Okay, so what is node, what is branch? So node is basically a point at which terminals of more than two components are joined. Okay, so if more than two components are connecting at a point, that is called as the node. A conductor with a substantially zero resistance is considered to be a node for the purpose of the analysis. So what is branch? So the components joining two nodes. Okay, the components that are joining two nodes are the branch. So a point at which two or more elements, so what is node and what is junction, there is a very slight difference. Okay, so a point at which two or more elements are joined together, that are called as the node, while if there is a point where three or more branches are incident, that is the junction. Okay, so a junction is a point where three or more network elements are being connected, that is the junction. Okay, so if there is two or more than two, that means that is the node. So for junction there should be at least three network elements should be connected at a point. So next is what is mesh and what is loop. So a group of branches within a network joined so as to form a complete loop, such as there is no other loop inside it, that is the mesh. Okay, so group of branches, okay, so those are forming a complete loop in such a way that there is no other loop inside it, that is the mesh. And a loop is a closed path in a circuit. So a loop is closed path that is formed by starting from a node, passing through the set of nodes and returning to the starting node without passing through any other node more than once. Okay, so here in this given example, okay, here in this given example what we can see, so two meshes are there. Okay, so here this is the mesh, this is the mesh. Okay, this is the second mesh. Okay, but this outer is the loop. Okay, these two meshes are called, will be called as the loop also. Okay, meshes are loop, but all the loops are not the meshes, as we can see in this diagram. So this outer path, that is if you start from R1, R3, R4, and then if you come to this Vs. Okay, so this is loop, this is not the mesh. Okay, so but mesh 1 and mesh 2, that is if you start from R1, R2 and Vs, this is the mesh, this is the loop also, like R3, R4 and R2, this is the mesh, this is the loop also, but this outer loop, this is the loop only, this is not the mesh. Okay, so basic electrical laws, we know all this, KCL and KVL. So the KCL means Kirchhoff's current law, the sum of all currents entering at a node is equal to the sum of all the currents leaving the node. Okay, then KVL is that the directed sum of electrical potential differences around a loop should be 0. Okay, it is 0. The directed sum of electrical potential difference around a loop is 0, that is the KVL. Then Ohm's law, so the voltage across a resistor is equal to the product of the resistance and the current flowing through it. Okay, so in place of resistance we can say impedance also, if we are dealing with the AC network. Okay, so what is electrical impedance now? So electrical impedance is a measure of opposition that a circuit presents to a current when voltage is applied. Okay, so when a voltage is applied, there is a opposition in the to the flow of the current, that is the impedance. So quantitatively, the impedance of a two-terminal circuit element is the ratio of the complex representation of the sinusoidal voltage between its terminal to the complex representation of the current flowing through it. Okay, if we are dealing with the AC circuit, then in general, it depends upon the frequency of the sinusoidal voltage. Okay, so impedance extends the concept of resistance to the AC circuit and possesses both magnitude and phase. Unlike resistance is having only the magnitude, okay, but impedance will be having magnitude and the phase also. When a circuit is driven with DC current, then there is distinction between the impedance and resistance. Okay, the latter can be thought as the impedance. Resistance can be thought as the impedance with zero phase angle. Okay, so impedance is a complex number with the same unit as the resistance, for which the SI unit is ohm, its symbol is Z, and it may be represented by writing its magnitude and phase in the polar form as Z angle theta. Okay, usually we represent impedance with Z. Okay, however, Cartesian complex number representation is often more powerful for circuit analysis purpose. Okay, so if any quantity is having magnitude and phase, okay, that means that is the phasor quantity. So that may be represented in the phasor means that is the complex number. Okay, so that can be represented in the polar form as well as in the Cartesian form and rectangular form. Cartesian and rectangular form, both are same. So the notion of impedance is useful for performing AC analysis of electrical networks. Okay, so because it allows relating sinusoidal voltage and current by a simple linear law. Okay, so impedance is very useful when we are analyzing the AC network because it is relating the sinusoidal voltage and current. Okay, so now first we will see the fundamental of the AC network. So alternating current is the current which constantly changes in amplitude and which reverses direction at the regular interval. As shown in this diagram, this is the alternating quantity. Okay, so because the changes are so regular, alternating voltage and current have a number of properties associated with it because it is changing its pattern. Okay, so because changes are regular also, okay, because they are periodic also. Okay, so it will be having the various type of properties. So first is the frequency. So frequency means it is the number of complete cycle that occurred in one time period, 1 second. The frequency of the wave is commonly measured in the cycle per second or hertz. Okay, cycle per second or hertz. So it is usually represented by F. Okay, this is also called as a linear frequency. So now time period. So it is a duration of the time required for the quantity to complete one cycle. Okay, so here if we see in this graph, so this is the time period because in this time the cycle is being completed. So this is the time period. Amplitude. Okay, so amplitude, mathematically the amplitude of a sinusoidal wave is the value of that sine wave at its peak. Here this is the amplitude, this peak value. Okay, so this is the maximum value, positive or negative. Okay, so instantaneous value, the instantaneous value of an alternating voltage or current is the value of voltage or current at any particular instant. Like suppose if we consider this time, okay, suppose at this time, okay, suppose at this time, suppose we are having this value. Okay, suppose this time is Tn. Okay, so Tn, that means amplitude at this time Tn is the instantaneous value of this given waveform at time Tn. So what is the peak value that we had discussed? Peak value means the here it is the maximum value of the voltage or current. The peak value applies to both positive and negative. It is same as that the amplitude. Okay, so here Vm is the peak value for the voltage and Im is for the current. Okay, so next is the average value. Okay, so here what we can see, this is the peak value. So this part is the peak value. Okay, this is also the peak value, but one term is there, peak to peak value. That means from this point to this point. Okay, this is the peak to peak value. Okay, so what is the average value? The average value of an alternating current or voltage is the average of all the instantaneous values during one alteration. Okay, if you find the average of all the values in for one alteration, that is the average value of the waveform. Since the voltage increases from 0 to peak and then from peak it decreases back to 0 during one time period. Okay, so the average value must be some value between these two limits. Okay, so since it is starting from 0, okay, so it is going to Vm, then from Vm also it is again decreasing. So that means if you find the average, it will be a value in between 0 to Vm. So now the average value of AC is the average over one complete cycle. Okay, and if we find the average for this complete cycle, it will be 0, because the value that is there in this positive half, the same value is being there in the negative half, but it is with the negative sign. So if we find the average over one complete cycle, then it is 0, because there are alternately equal positive and negative half cycle. Okay, so if you find out the complete AC average value for the complete cycle, that is 0. Okay, so this is the mathematical derivation here. So here 0 to t by 2. Okay, I naught sin omega t dt, and we are integrating the time also from 0 to t by 2. We are taking the half time period only. Okay, so after this mathematical analysis, see, this mean value or the average value is 2 by pi peak value of the current. Okay, that means 2 by pi into Im. Okay, or if we take the voltage, it will be 2 by pi into Vm. Okay, but this is for the half time period only. Okay, if we take the total complete time period, that is t, then it will be 0. So next is the root mean square value. So circuit current and voltage in AC circuit are generally stated as the root mean square of or the RMS value. So here, as its name indicate, root mean square. Okay, so here this is the IRMS is the average of I square and then square root of that. Okay, so this is the RMS value. Okay, so it is also known as the effective value. Okay, so if we find the RMS value for the given sinusoidal is current waveform, then it will be Im by root 2. Okay, so since the AC voltage is also sinusoidal, the form of the RMS voltage will be same. So for voltage VRMS, it will be Vm by root 2. Okay, so this is the effective value also. So these RMS value are just the effective value needed in the expression for average power to put the AC power in the same form as the expression of the DC. Okay, DC power in the resistor. This value is the required value of the average power to be put in the DC power, put as the DC power. Okay, so that it will be having the same value of the power. So in a resistor with the power factor, in resistor power factor is 1. Okay, so here P average, if you multiply, okay, if you multiply Vm by root 2 and Im by root 2, so it will be Vm Im by 2 into cos phi. Okay, so this is average power. Okay, so average power means RMS voltage into RMS current, and here there is a term that is a form factor. Okay, so IRMS by I average. Okay, so that is 1.11. So this is the Same for the voltage that we had derived. The RMS value is the effective value required for the power calculation. Okay. So here for the sinusoidal waveform, form factor is 1.11 and peak factor is the 1.414. Okay. So form factor is the ratio of the RMS to the average value and peak factor is the maximum to the RMS. Okay. So here these are the two waveforms, here one for the voltage, one for the current. So here in figure 2 there are two sine waves and they are out of phase. Okay. So they are out of phase because they are not starting from 0 at the same time. So it may be called as the wave A is starting before wave B, and we can say that wave A is leading. Okay, that means wave B is lagging. Okay, so this is the phase difference. This is the phase difference. Okay, as we can see in the waveform, A is leading, B is lagging. Okay, and this is the lag period or the lead period. Okay, so here it is the 90 degree. See, if here two A and B, two quantities are shown here, and this is the resultant. So resultant will be square root of A square plus B square. So this is how we calculate from the phasor diagram. Any quantity can be calculated from the phasor diagram. Okay, so here we had understood the phase and phase difference, the fraction of the cycle or the time period that has been elapsed. Okay, and some other waveform is starting. So that is the phase difference. Phase of the alternating current or voltage may be expressed in time measured in second or fraction of time period or angle. That may be in degree or in radian. The two alternating current or voltage act simultaneously in a circuit. They may do so in such a manner that their peak values do not occur at the same time. So the interval between two positive peak value of AC current or voltage is known as the phase difference. So this is the very basic thing, that resistance, reactance, impedance, inductance. So resistance unit is ohm, symbol is R. It is the force that tends to resist the flow of current in the network. Reactance is same as that the resistance. Okay, so there are two basic type of reactance, capacitive reactance and the inductive reactance. Okay, so like resistance, reactance will be also expressed in the ohm. Okay, so resistance is the term when we are dealing with the DC network. So resistance, reactance and impedance only exist in the world of the AC circuit. Okay, so this reactance also depends on the frequency. So here this is the formula for the inductive reactance. XL is 2 pi f into L, that is omega into L, and XC, that is the capacitive reactance, that is the 1 by omega into C. Okay, so omega is the angular frequency, omega is 2 pi into f. Okay, so this is the now concept of the power factor. The inductor stores electrical energy in the form of the magnetic energy, and capacitor stores electrical energy in the form of the electrostatic energy. Okay, so neither of them dissipates it. Further, there is a phase shift of 90 degree to 0 degree between voltage and current. Okay, so that is the concept of the power factor. For the entire circuit consisting of resistor, inductor and capacitor, there exists some phase difference between the voltage and the current. Okay, so in case of RL circuit, there will be phase difference of 90 degree. Okay, so the cosine of the phase difference is called as the electrical power factor. Okay, so power factor value of the, since value of the cosine lies between 0 to 1, so the power factor value of the power factor will also lie between 0 to 1. So there is apparent power S, that is the VI. So real power or active power is the VI cos phi, and reactive power is VI sin phi. Okay, so unit of reactive power is VAR. So here this is the AC resistor circuit. So here we can see this is the voltage, this is the current, both are lying. Okay, there is no phase difference. Okay, so this is for the inductive circuit. Okay, so here as we can see, the current is lagging. current is lagging behind the voltage by the 90 degrees. So this is the phasor diagram. Okay, so in case of RL circuit also there will be lag, there will be some lag. Okay, so that value can be determined. Okay, so here this is the value. So now this is the capacitive circuit. In pure capacitive circuit, as we can see, current is leading by 90 degree to the voltage. Okay, so in case of RC circuit also, current will be leading. Okay, and that angle can be calculated easily. Okay, so we can calculate Z, and in Z there will be two terminology. One will be imaginary part, one will be real part. Tan inverse of imaginary by real, that will give the phase difference. Okay, so this is the series RLC circuit. So here, due to L and C, okay, there will be some lagging factor, there will be some phase difference. Okay, so V will be this, Z is this, and the phase difference can be calculated as tan inverse XL minus XC by R, or tan inverse XC minus XL by R, depending on the condition that whether XC is greater or XL is greater. So this was about the basic concept. So in next lecture we will continue. Thank you all.